Union Baptist as its senior pastor for 37 years. What a legacy of love and leadership. Pastor and Mrs. Epps will be honored at a luncheon on Saturday, July 26, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Sheraton Universal Hotel in Universal City, and you're invited to attend. Noted scholar Dr. Michael Eric Dyson is the keynote speaker. For ticket information, please contact epsretirement@gmail.com or call 213-399-2103. That's epsretirement@gmail.com or call 213-399-2103. To Pastor Epps and First Lady Epps, congratulations from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, I thought it was all over.
What's up, Doja? You know, it's been a little minute since you and I have had a chat.
Has it really?
Probably since, your last EP, All the Places You'll Go.
Oh, wow. It's been a minute, yeah.
I've been getting some calls.
Oh.
People are a little bit worried about you.
Not worried.
And I know that I was kind of that outlet for you, so...
You were.
Why don't you just tell me what's been going on?
Okay. Remember old dude from 2019, nice clean, did me dirtier than laundry. Took a scroll through his IG just to get a DM from his wifey. I was so confused, what should Dochi do? She didn't know about me and I didn't know about Sue.
Good evening, y'all, and welcome to KBLA Talk 1580, the station unapologetically for the people and by the people. Yes, I said it. I am your host, Keith Underwood, taking over for the incomparable Jill Munroe, and I'm honored to be here with you tonight. We've got a powerful conversation ahead centered around a cultural institution that has celebrated, spotlighted, and sometimes challenged Black identity for nearly 25 years, the BET Awards. Whether you're watching for the music, the moments, or the memories, you're not just recapping the red carpet. We're tapping into this show as it was meant to be. The culture, the past, the present, and the future. Andy, good brother, what's up?
Man, it's been a minute, man. How are you?
Yeah, dude, another day, another...
$1 million.
That's I'm saying a zillion, man.
Zillion, you're right.
Inflation.
More like infinity, actually.
right.
Stop.
Yeah, man. So, dude, are you ready for tonight?
I am.
You
Always.
know, it's gonna be a journey. You know, we're gonna get into the culture and the history, but we're gonna try to keep y'all updated on what's going on too. I understand Dochi,
she got a female hip hop artist of the year, so
which is why we came in on on our girl. Yes. And Andy's gonna be jumping in every now and then to fill us in as much as possible, y'all.
I am behind the scenes watching the awards. You know what I'm saying, as much as I can. So I'm gonna tap in and give you guys some updates on award winners or whatnot.
Yeah, we appreciate that, Andy. And if you want to jump in on the conversation, please call us at 1-800-920-1580. Again, that's 1-800-920-1580. Or you can also join us on YouTube at KBLA 1580. Again, that's KBLA 1580. Now, let me tell y'all, I haven't seen it, but I heard the red carpet was sizzling this evening. Kevin Hart, he made headlines tonight with a powerful red carpet moment, arriving alongside his wife, Aniko Hart, and their 17-year-old son, Hendrix. It wasn't just a fashion flex. It was a family statement. Kevin's return as host is already trending, but his red carpet presence reminds us legacy lives on who we bring with us. That's always the truth. I try not to step into any event if I'm not by myself with somebody that's not representing as much as me. I'm just saying, y'all. When it comes to style, the 2025 BET Awards red carpet, it delivered. Riley Burris, alongside her mother, Candy Burris, she shined in a regal teal gown with gold accents, and she was serving grown woman royalty energy. And Kaiser Gondrizik, former WNBA star, turned heads in an elegant black silhouette with red floral accessories. Dominique Perry, she brought some classic drama in tulle and a bold thigh-high slit. She said, "Here it is, pow!" And dancehall queen Spice, she stayed true to her roots with a daring blue dress, loud, proud, and unapologetically Caribbean. Aniko Hart Kevin's wife, she dazzled y'all in a silver high neck gown, perfectly coordinating with Kevin's timeless black tie look. Each of these looks told a story, from legacy to power to playful pride. So the question is, what are they saying with their style, and what does fashion at BET mean for the culture? We want to hear from you. Call us at 1-800-920-1580 or join us in the live chat on YouTube at KBLA 1580. When we come forward, we're going to chop it up about the legacy and the culture of the BET Awards with our special guest contributor, Betty Halsell.
Disagree without disrespect. Make your point and keep it pushing.
Let's do this.
Listen and learn or talk and teach. Talking and listening around the clock. KBLA Talk 1580.
During this time, it's important for everyone to know your rights. The 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments in the U.S. Constitution protects every one of us, regardless of immigration status. The 4th Amendment requires a judicial warrant to search your home. The 5th protects your right to remain silent. And the 6th gives you the right to an attorney. Just remember,
no warrant, no key. My privacy. You don't have to speak. No lawyer inside. Don't say a thing. Yeah, we all got rights.
Hey, we all got rights.
The following is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways with the purpose of soliciting sales of vacation ownership. For complete details, please visit fvgradio.com. If you want a 100% complimentary stay at a luxury resort in Cancun, airfare not included, then Family Vacation Getaways is your ticket to paradise. See website for complete details. We're giving away 5 days and 4 nights to the first 50 callers who can name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. An animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. Do you know it? Call now, 800-868-6431. 800-868-6431. You're also eligible for an exciting bonus vacation to Orlando, Florida for just $498. And don't worry about anything ruining your plans. We can extend your travel up to 18 months. Name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird, and get a complimentary Cancun resort stay and an optional bonus vacation to Orlando for just $498. What are you waiting for? Call 800-868-6431. 800-868-6431 and give us your answer. The proceeding is not a contest and is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways and not sponsored by this program or its affiliates.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do more than just talk.
You got a big mouth. Hello, Joe, you're up. Welcome.
We're unapologetically progressive, and we don't black down.
Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580, and we are taking over tonight for our fabulous host, Jill Munroe, and we're talking tonight about the BET Awards. We're going to chop it up a little bit with my girl special guest. Well, she's more like a niece, y'all. We are joined tonight by Betty Halsell, the digital editor and staff writer at the Los Angeles Sentinel. Yes, shout out to the Los Angeles Sentinel. With over 5 years of crafting community-centered stories, she brings a voice grounded in advocacy, culture, and truth. Come on, advocacy, culture, and truth. Betty Halsell, what's up?
Thank you, Keith. You know I was going to get on you. I was like, he messed up my title already. I worked very hard for that title.
You know, I always got your back. You know, we're family now, Betty.
That's true. That's true.
Come on with it. So I heard that a shout out is in line for Miss Mariah Carey, who just stepped off the BET 2025 BET Award stage, gave a phenomenal performance. She gave us some Mariah, contrary to what y'all saying. Mariah is still Mariah, and she's going to be saluted tonight and honored, and I just think that's phenomenal. Betty, what's up? Are you watching the awards while we're talking?
So I'm really getting into what you mentioned earlier, the fashion. Shabuzi, I'm learning the new names and the new characters coming online, and Shabuzi stood out.
Girl, don't act like you old. Don't act like you old. You should know who everybody is.
Well, when you're so rooted in your community, you really focus on their voice. But to zoom out a little bit and get into entertainment, I'm looking at what everybody's wearing, and it looks crazy.
Yeah. What's standing out to you? What's standing out to you, like overall, about the fashion?
Well, yeah. So, for example, Tisha Campbell, she's wearing that red snake with the belt look, and she's matching her hair. So, I mean, she really stepped out. And then we had CeCe Sierra, kind of shouting out her new album, but she looked phenomenal. Again, circling back to Kevin Hart, he brought out, his old classic fade. We haven't seen that since Soul Plane. So, there's looks.
There's looks. If you were there tonight, Betty, what would you be wearing?
Ooh. That's a good question.
Come on with it, supermodel. Come on, supermodel.
No, listen, I'm all about. Listen. So I'm all about fashion. That's where I put my attitude, So I would probably step out in something, high slick, because, I have to have a little leg out.
Right.
Something unique. It would have to be a play between, glamour, but old school glamour, Hollywood type deal. I would have my little, Betty Boop cut going on.
Come on,
fresh,
Betty Boop.
Going. So yeah, I think something black too. I'm very sleek like that. So
yeah, you gonna rock those glasses, those hot little shades I saw you in the other day.
Acting real incognito.
You were real incognito. Yes, you were. Yeah, Betty. Okay. I see you. So the BET Awards, we talked about a little bit about the fashion, and it reflects more than just music. They reflect us from the fashion to politics, which you touched on a little bit earlier, and performance to protest. This stage has mirrored what's happening in Black life, but are we still seeing ourselves clearly? And how well do the BET Awards, how well do they reflect our lived experiences as part of a Black community?
Well, yeah, just to zoom out for a second and look at BET and its impact on our community. First of all, everybody knows BET. It's like everybody knows Kobe.
Right.
They're just in our minds, and that says it all. But they also provide, on the outskirts, jobs. Like the influencers are going crazy right now, and also, just the photographers. All of my creative friends are hitting me up right now talking about, how BET is affecting their lives right now. So I just kind of wanted to bring that to light to show their heavy impact and influence. And they were our foundation as far as media personalities. You would look to BET for representation. So not only are they still, they are the culture. We wouldn't have such a big, I feel, amplified voice without BET growing the way that it has. So definitely still very relevant as it affected my whole week.
Right.
I knew my journalistic instinct was to reach out to BET because of BET Weekend, and we got to speak with Robbie Reed. Shout out to Robbie Reed. She let us into her home. And she sat us down, and, these are just all of the outskirt events. It's not even just BET Awards, which is like our Super Bowl. I'm just kind of like painting a picture on how massive their ripple effect is.
Let me play devil's advocate for a moment, Nisi.
Oh, okay.
So what parts of our culture has BET elevated, And what parts of our culture have they overlooked?
That's a great question. Again, just covering myself. BET is great. They are amazing. But where I see an opportunity, it's all about how you say this.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just be, dissing BET, Keith. I don't know what you're trying to do to me right now, but I feel like the opportunity lies in the local aspect. I think if hey, I'm seeing an opportunity here where BET works with, the LA Sentinel, or BET works with Dorsey High School, BET works with the South LA community to advocate for our needs, advocate for what we see in the community. Real change could happen if they kind of turned up the vision of South LA,
and turned out,
and included, and turned out, and invested in the community in a big way, because we are looking at them as our pipeline to success. If one of us make it, we all make it, and that's kind of the opportunity that I see.
Betty, let me tell you something. Andy, he in there, man. He ready to chime in. Andy, what's up, brother? What's happening?
First off, Keith, I appreciate you for playing devil's advocate, because that was kind of like the stance that I was going to be on.
Mm-hmm.
But Miss Betty, also want to appreciate you for your stance and just having a positive outlook on things, because I've been very disappointed with BET over the past, I don't know, 15 years, it seems like, maybe 10 years or so. And quite frankly, I know it's not even just BET. That's MTV. That's VH1.
That's right.
I feel like they've transitioned from focusing on music to reality TV, which I know it's a popular thing, but it's interesting. One of the first things on the BET Awards that I witnessed is something like they did like an ode to 106 in Park. I missed that aspect. Lil Wayne just dropped the album, The Carter 6, and there was no momentum going on. Like, there was no appearance, there was no single and stuff like that. So, like, how am I going to tap into music? Music has changed. I know the whole entertainment industry has changed. But I've been very disappointed because, first off, y'all got the awards on a Monday. What happened? It used to be on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm at work. I don't mind being at work.
It was cheaper. It was cheaper on Monday night.
Okay. See, I don't know that
I don't
information.
know. I don't know. I'm just guessing, y'all.
But I was disappointed with that. I was also disappointed in the build up to the BET Awards. Like I know how much we complain about representation when it comes to stuff like the Oscars and the Grammys, right?
Right.
And I just feel like this is an award show, the BET Award show, that I feel that us as a people should big up. You know what I'm saying? This should be our Grammys.
Right.
And I just felt like they just kind of swept it away.
Right.
There was no if there was promotion, it just wasn't enough like how it used to be back in the day. It used to be the anticipation to build up for the awards. I didn't even know who was being honored. I don't know who the Lifetime Achievement Award person is or whatnot. So I'm a little bit disappointed in that. And to Betty's case about the whole thing about coming to the community, honestly, I don't see that happening. Why? Because it's a reflection of what they got going on TV. I don't see anything community oriented even on TV. So that would be a long shot. But you know what though, Betty? You know what I'm saying? If you can go ahead and figure out a way to squiggle your way into them offices and you can talk to them heads and make that happen, I'd love to support you in that regard, because I do think that that's something that would be needed for sure.
Yeah. Well, let me ask. Betty, go ahead.
BET is great. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all. I'm working my way right now. BET is amazing. BET is great. I see an opportunity. I see, if it comes down to dollar signs, I see dollar signs. And, working with the community and amplifying the voice, because so many people look up to BET. The celebrities need BET. The community needs BET. So
Yes.
if you're going to have eyeballs that you've cultivated for generations and for years, like I remember, tapping into BET before I walked to school every morning.
Right.
So, this is something that they cultivated, and they got the eyeballs. We got a little chunk. So now it's like, okay, how do we really, I don't want to say infiltrate because I'm really, I'm not trying to have like a war aspect, but
the takeover.
How do we further the Black agenda together?
Right. Well, then let's talk about that, because I'm a solution-oriented guy. I mean, it's one thing, for us to talk about the issues, with anything within Black culture, but what are some of the solutions? What could they be doing differently, and how could they be doing it? What are some suggestions?
Well, like I said, it's really just about doing your due diligence. There you go. And having your boots on the ground and working with, community centers. They also could be making shows around, any type of creative outlet can be a message board, can amplify, what everybody needs in the community. So it's just really about sitting down, just manifesting a executive meeting with BET right now, and sitting down and letting them know that we're ready. We're ready to showcase our culture, not only because it's beautiful, but because we know that everyone wants to be a part of it. So.
What about bringing back, as Andy hinted at earlier, community-minded programming?
Teen Summit?
And okay, so when you say community-minded programming, what do you mean?
Programming that deals with issues that directly affect us. That we have like roundtables and conversations and talks about it.
Hold on. Miss Betty.
Yeah.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
What's up?
How old are you? How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
How old? And we can't even play the game because
I'm gonna just assume you're a youngster. There was a show called Teen Summit. There was a show called Teen Summit. Are you familiar with that show?
No, I'm not. I'm a youngster.
So there was a show on Teen Summit. There was a show on BET called Teen Summit.
Yes.
That was community oriented. Right. We've had this conversation.
It was one of their first programs.
You feel me? We've had this conversation several times on KBLA.
Okay.
Apparently, right? It's one thing for BET to go ahead and maybe as a solution to provide that type of programming, right? But it's also the responsibility on us as viewers to actually tap in and actually watch.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? If we say we want this, we got to tap in and support.
Yes. Well, okay. But then I'm going to pose that question then, because that's one of the things that I'm always advocating for, because we've been fed junk for so long. And when I say we, I mean Black folks. We've been fed junk for so long. How do we change the mindset of the audience to want something better, to want more, and not just go for the sensationalism?
Well, I want to chime in on that because I've been looking at ways to tell the story through a digital platform. So it's really been challenging to find a captivating way within a minute, 30 seconds to, get the impact that we need. So I have a solution. It's really about getting the artists like Doechii, getting the artists like, Shabuzi to kind of play that influencer role and create, authentic content around LA, kind of like what Kendrick Lamar did with his, last parade, I should say, of getting his music out there. So it really comes down to who has the eyeballs right now? How are they telling their stories, and how can we emulate that within the community so it could be fascinating? The reason why I'm sure Teen Summit didn't work is because it was boring. Let's just call a spade a spade. So if it's boring, we're not going to tune in. So it has to be cool looking people. It has to have a vibe to it, millennials.
I think Ananda Lewis would be mad at you for that comment. You look her up.
Oh, well, I was a youngster.
Yes. What's up, Andy?
But you get what I'm saying.
Oh, absolutely.
I think Betty is saying something very telling, though, right? For her to go ahead and say that, it might have been boring. There might be some truth to that, right?
Absolutely.
So I know we want maybe more education, more community-based type of stuff, but is it going to be boring? How can we present it in an entertaining way? I do like the idea of maybe bringing some influencers on the way. I don't know how that's going to work, considering the space that they're in, but
Yeah, and I think that you both have hit on something, very smart. I think it takes different opinions and different personalities in order to you got to have engaging and exciting conversation around these topics, and you get that from healthy debate like we're having right now.
Yes, very healthy.
You feel healthy, Miss Betty?
I feel real healthy. It's, we got the spice in there. I'm trying to come up with a game plan, and you just even us out, Keith, right there.
It's what I do. It's what a good uncle does. So
that's right, Uncle
Keith. What are some other ways that BET can better represent the diversity within Black culture across generations? Not just, and I think sometimes that we forget about the other generations outside of, Betty's or Andy's or mine. I think we forget about that cross reach that we need to have when we're doing program. How can we do that, Betty? And I want to hear that from a young person.
Yeah. This is going to be a real wild card, but we need a Black version of Miss Rachel. I don't trust Miss Rachel. Okay. So that, to bring up the conversation of generations, like we need to hit, content for every generation from birth, and we need to get them in, starting very young. So creating different platforms for children to be explored into their culture. I was lucky enough to have a family that said, you Black, and that, go get a Jet magazine, flipping through the Jet magazines. So I hope this helps with my age. So with that being said, I think the exposure to culture is very important. So looking, to your point of generational impact, we have to start them young. I try to get my nephews are in town. Shout out to Will and Joey. Mm-hmm. They listen into Miss Rachel, and I get mad every time. I try to put her on Tabitha Brown, but they don't click in with Tabitha. So I'm looking.
They don't want the positivity, Betty.
I just don't think it's something about the voice of Miss Rachel. She's a baby whisperer. So, we got to lock in with getting the attention early and, figuring out that formula, putting a science behind it. I think case studies would be helpful and really get, psychological with the next moves that we make in media.
Mm-hmm. Get some real data. When we come forward right here on the Takeover KBLA Talk 1580, we're going to talk more about the cultural influence of BET and keep you guys updated on the awards.
Out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Black Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass is blaming former President Trump for sparking weekend violence.
It's the last thing our city needs.
She says ICE raids triggered fear that escalated when Trump sent in federal troops. While Trump claims he deployed the National Guard due to rising chaos, Bass and Governor Newsom are urging him to pull the troops from L.A. Bass is also calling for continued peaceful protest. A former girlfriend of Sean Diddy Combs, identified as Jane, told the court she feared he'd film explicit acts on his phone that others could access. She previously testified he forced her to have sex with 3 male escorts while he watched. And Black Maryland Attorney General Anthony Brown is joining a multi-state lawsuit to block the release of forced reset triggers, devices that turn semi-automatic guns into machine guns. He says the move violates federal law and would increase gun violence and risk in Maryland communities. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
In Atwater Village, a SIG alert for the 5 northbound at Fletcher, the right lane and on-ramp closed. Big rig versus garbage truck is the crash, and things are pretty slow getting through that stretch. In downtown Los Angeles, the freeway's been reopened, the 101, north and southbound between the 110 and Mission Road. The on and off ramps are still closed through that stretch, however. In Toluca Lake, cleared up the crash on the 134 westbound before Cahuenga. Things are still slow, though, from Forest Lawn Drive.
Every day, a child in poverty waits for a sponsor is another day of hopelessness. There are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. and their weight. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Just text the word radio to 83393.
Is this the Takeover? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Coco Gauff's championship victory in the French Open Saturday morning set up an interesting development in women's professional tennis. The first two Grand Slam events in 2025 have been won by African Americans. Madison Keys, a 30-year-old African American from Rock Island, Illinois, won the Australian Open in January. Coco and Keys will be contenders at Wimbledon and the U.S. Open, the remaining two Grand Slam tournaments this year. Both are ranked among the top 10 in the world. Coco is number 2, Keys is 8th. With the $2.9 million she earned for winning the French Open, Coco's career earnings are now at $8.4 million since turning pro in 2019. Coco donated $100,000 to the United Negro College Fund to help support HBCU tennis programs. She also got the U.S. Tennis Association to commit $3 million to rebuild tennis courts in minority communities around the country. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 congratulates Pastor and Mrs. William Sachs Epps on their retirement from stewardship at the historic Second Baptist Church. Dr. Epps has faithfully served Second Baptist as its senior pastor for 37 years. What a legacy of love and leadership. Pastor and Mrs. Epps will be honored at a luncheon on Saturday, July 26, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Sheraton Universal Hotel in Universal City, and you're invited to attend. Noted scholar Dr. Michael Eric Dyson is the keynote speaker. For ticket information, please contact epsretirement@gmail.com or call 213-399-2103. That's epsretirement@gmail.com or call 213-399-2103. To Pastor Epps and First Lady Epps, congratulations from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a black and brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Live from Leimert Park, USA. The cultural mecca of Black Los Angeles. Broadcasting from historic Crenshaw Boulevard. We are unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
You are listening to KBLA Talk 1580. I am Keith Underwood taking over for Jill Munroe tonight, and we are chopping it up about the BET Awards. What's up, everybody in the chat? DJ Black, what's up, nephew? Mimi, what's happening? How all of y'all are doing? And then Morris, let's see what you said here. Oh, look out, America. We got a different vibe tonight. That's right, brother. That's right. We trying to bring a little something different. Let's see. And he also said it's the only game in town, BET. Selfish individualism, collective cooperation seems to be impossible. Sorry, folks, but diversity of opinion isn't appreciated in America today, nor is DEI. Do y'all remember? And Sky Stone, of course, rest in peace. I just want to say hey to everybody, and I hope you're having a fantastic evening. Jill Munroe is not with us tonight, but I think she'll be returning tomorrow night, and shout out to her, and thank you, Jill, for letting me sit in your seat tonight. We got with us Miss Betty Halsell, who's chopping it up with us about the BET Awards. What's up, Miss Betty?
Hey, hey.
Hey. And if you want to join in the chat, please call in to 1-800-920-1580, or you can join us on youtube.com at KBLA 1580. Betty, wow. I mean, we're having a good discussion here about the BET Awards. No fluff, no filler.
Yes. I'm really liking where we're going. I'm going to put this in a pitch and hopefully, get in front of the right ears.
Run me my check. Just make sure you run me my check.
That's very true.
Yeah, I might be your uncle, but I need to be paid.
Of course, uncle or not.
Giving our legends their flowers while they're here. Mariah Carey, Snoop Dogg, Jamie Foxx, Kirk Franklin. Tonight they're honored, but it sparks a deeper. Wait a minute, hold on, and you got some updates for us, right?
I sure do got some updates.
Yes.
2 award winners that we got coming up. Female R&B pop artist.
Yes.
That award goes to Miss SZA.
All right, shout out to SZA. Come on now.
Congratulations to her. And the award for Best New Artist goes to Mr. Mutt himself, Mr. Leon Thomas. So congratulations to him.
Yeah, congratulations.
That is definitely a new artist.
Yeah.
You said Mutt? That is definitely a new artist. I ain't never heard of no Mutt. Anybody know about Mutt?
Betty, you don't know the song?
Nah.
Wow.
Wait, maybe.
Wait a minute.
Maybe.
You have to play it coming in.
Don't trip, I got you.
Yeah, when we come forward on the next one. So y'all, we want to make sure that we give props and flowers to everybody while they're still here. And I mentioned earlier Mariah Carey, Snoop Dogg, Jamie Foxx, Kirk Franklin, and tonight they're being honored. But it sparks a deeper cultural question. Why do we often wait until it's almost too late to recognize our own legends? Why we do that, y'all? Why does giving flowers, what does it mean to you, Miss Betty, and who needs theirs while they're still with us? Who you think's been missing out on getting their flowers?
That's a great question. I'm going to have to circle back to it because I want to be really intentional who I give that to. But in terms of why is it too late? I think that's a great question as well. I think it's hard to absorb the impact as it's happening and when it's time to reflect, because when you think, if we're talking about the end being, there's always a time for the horn. That's just a part of life.
That's right.
But in terms of, the end, if we're talking about death, I think that's the time to reflect. So that's why the impact is so heavy, in terms of like, wow, look at their career in the rearview mirror. Everything is much clearer in hindsight. So I think that's why we wait so long. But sometimes you really have to just sit and think about who deserves the flowers. And I really want to come back to that. I think I need more time because it's like, I know I have somebody that I just super admire. But they just, it's really about the impact. So,
yeah. I don't think the BET Awards, they've honored Michael, they've honored Janet. Have they ever honored where they came from? The Jackson 5? Have they done that? We got to have to check on that, Andy.
That's a great question.
I don't think so. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. What's up? What's up, Andy? What's on your brain? What's on the dome?
There was a lot of, from my understanding, there was like jealousy amongst the brothers or whatnot. You know, Jermaine was over here like, man, I should have been the guy or whatnot. So I just don't know if they would have came together for, you know, an acknowledgement, you know. Now, after Michael passed away, that possibly could have been the best time to do it.
Right.
I mean, it's not too late.
Right,
it's obviously
right.
not too late. But I think that might have been the reason why there might have been some hesitation to acknowledge the Jackson 5 as a group, just because a little bit of the jealousy. But I do have an artist that I feel does not get the love. He does get the love, but I don't think as much. And he's still here with us.
Who's that?
To me, I think he's the last living legend. And I stand to be corrected if I'm missing out. But Stevie Wonder.
Absolutely.
I don't remember any Lifetime Achievement Award that he's received. If he has, once again, I stand to be corrected. But this is somebody that I feel like while he's still here,
right,
we need to go ahead and truly give him his flowers.
Right. And if he is already in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, he should be just getting more across the board from everybody, acknowledging the greatness that is Stevie Wonder. Betty, do you think our institutions, do you think they wait too long to honor greatness in the Black community? I mean, and I think also that it should be more than just about popularity, who we think is the most popular, but who's actually contributing, you know, to society, who's helping to make it better, and who's doing it through their artistry. What are your thoughts?
Well, we have to get through the mind of all of the stigmas that are against Black men and women. I did think of an artist or a genre, really, as any female rapper in the 90s. Specifically MC Lyte. You know, she's doing voiceovers, but she's had a very big impact on the hip hop community.
That's an unsung one right there. We don't talk
about her enough. Yeah, it really exactly. So horns to that. But I wanted to argue about Stevie Wonder real quick, because Stevie Wonder is such a implanted thought. Stevie Wonder is definitely celebrated. Now, I know he didn't get like necessarily the physical award, but everybody knows Stevie. So I'm not necessarily knocking him. Everybody should get their flowers, but in terms of an artist, he's very well celebrated. Let me just put it that way.
Let's see here over in the chat. Morris, again, he agrees with me that that they definitely should get some flowers, the Jackson 5. So, you know, I think there's something to be said about people knowing and acknowledging who people are, but I think it's something special about taking a special moment to acknowledge those folks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So how can BET do a better job of preserving legacy while it's still being written?
That is okay. So
wait, I came with the deepness now.
Now you got me in my strategy bag. So
come on.
Go ahead and rephrase the question again.
What I'm saying is, how can BET and we, as a people, we the people, in order to form a more perfect union, do a better job of preserving legacy while it's still being written, while people are still here, while they're still doing their thing?
We got to do our job. Now, I'll speak to the community first. We got to do our job in amplifying the content surrounding these folks. So if you see an article, or if you know that, this person is doing this, we have to share it because now we have the power. We have little bits of power in our pocket. It's called, our cell phone, and you open Instagram and you see everything that's being shared. Well, we have to do our due diligence and be more intentional as Black folks to celebrate in a big way. So everybody, all hands on deck when it comes to amplifying their successes. And maybe, this is a very, hot topic, or hot take, I should say, when it comes to our downfalls, because, when you get into the limelight, you're going to have your wins and your losses, but having more of a conscious way of handling our flaws when certain celebrities mess up. We
want to make
definitely break them
sure,
down.
yeah, we want to make sure
Yeah.
that we're knowing all the facts and that we're supporting those who need to be supported. When we come forward right here on KBLA Talk 1580, we're going to continue with this entertainment takeover and chop it up more about the BET Awards.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to gear with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
Catch Prep is now enrolling for summer credit recovery in fall 2025. As South Los Angeles' top-performing high school in English, math, and college access, Catch Prep is welcoming all 9th through 12th graders to enroll now. Catch Prep offers a small, supportive, and safe learning environment to help all students succeed, so that all students feel valued, respected, and motivated to reach their full potential. For the past 20 years, Catch Prep has helped more students of color gain admission to top-tier universities, with our graduating seniors earning a total of $3 million in scholarships, more than any other school in Los Angeles. We are dedicated to helping all students turn your college dreams into reality. Catch Prep is now enrolling. Visit us online at catchhighschool.com or call 323-293-3917. Spaces limited. Please enroll now for summer credit recovery and fall 2025. Call 323-293-3917 or enroll today at catchhighschool.com.
During this time, it's important for everyone to know your rights. The 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments in the U.S. Constitution protects every one of us, regardless of immigration status. The 4th Amendment requires a judicial warrant to search your home. The 5th protects your right to remain silent, and the 6th gives you the right to an attorney. Just remember,
No warrant, no key. My privacy. You don't have to speak. No lawyer inside. Don't say a thing. Yeah, we all got rights.
Hey, we all got rights.
May 6th was World Asthma Day, and it's a critical time to raise awareness about your asthma. Did you know that Black Americans are approximately 5 times more likely than white Americans to visit the emergency department due to their asthma? Managing your asthma is possible with regular checkups, avoiding known triggers, using prescribed medications correctly, and creating an asthma action plan with your healthcare professional. An action plan is a personalized plan you create with your doctor that shows you what to do and what medications to take to help control your asthma when you're having a hard time breathing or having an asthma attack. Stay aware. Have a plan because your health matters. For more tips and resources on managing your asthma, visit luma-edu.com. luma-edu.com. This message is brought to you by Amgen and AstraZeneca.
Attention Los Angeles County renters and landlords. Starting January 1st, 2025, there are new rules limiting rent increases for rent-stabilized units in unincorporated LA County. Most rent-stabilized units will have rent increases capped at 2.565% from January through June 2025, with exceptions for qualified small property landlords and luxury units. To learn more about the new changes, visit rent.lacounty.gov. This message is brought to you by Los Angeles County Department of Consumer and Business Affairs.
Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
You are listening to KBLA Talk 1580. This is Keith Underwood taking over for the lovely and incomparable Jill Munroe right here on KBLA Talk 1580 for the night. Let's see here. We got Bert Dawson on the line. He wants to chime in about the incomparable Stevie Wonder.
Yes, Ken, thank you so much. I listen to you guys all the time, and I start with Tavis early in the morning. But I'd like to address this to Betty. I know she's quite young, but she needs to go back and do some history on Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder was instrumental in getting us Teen Days. I mean, he's done so much, and we need all the prompts we can give him while he's still alive. And he continues to do this. I taught at Manual Arts for 25 years. Well, I taught 40 all told, but I finished my 25 years at Manual Arts teaching seniors. And I taught them all about us Black people because it's important that they know, not just about the young ones that's famous or doing something, but I want them to go back in history and give prompts to those, and Stevie Wonder really needs it.
Come on now. All right, Miss Dawson. Miss Betty, you know we love you, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Miss Dawson. We appreciate
Thank you.
that. Yeah, Betty, you there? Betty? Hello, hello. All right. Well, I think we might have lost Betty for a minute, possibly. Let me just make sure everything's good. Oh, okay. Andy, she can't hear the show. All right, you guys, we're going to get back into it. I don't know, what the BET Awards mean to you, but like Andy was saying earlier, it's a legacy and something that has always been in my household for most of my life. And, I'm just so proud to be talking about it. I'm proud of the legacy that BET has. What I'm concerned about is where BET is going to be moving in the future. I think we got Betty back on the line. Betty, what's up?
Yeah, I'm back. I was so sad. I was like, oh no, what do I do?
Right. I was like, did she hang up? Did it get too real? No.
No, it went dead, and then I was like, okay, let me just call back.
Yeah. So what did you think about the comments about Stevie Wonder? What are your thoughts?
Oh, wait a minute now. I missed it. We still talking about TV?
Wow. No, we had a sister come on, and she was just saying that, she basically appreciates everything that you said, but that Stevie Wonder, that he needs every piece of flower, petal,
absolutely.
Stem.
Oh, I didn't mess up. Yeah,
right.
No, absolutely.
I know.
Listen,
I know you almost
Stevie
said
Wonder
something
fan.
else.
Oh yeah. See, I didn't step in something. See, listen, I am very much saying that he should receive every award for every legacy and everything he's done for the community. I guess I'm just saying in terms of the question of unsung heroes, he is very much sunk. Okay, karaoke wise and otherwise. Stevie is definitely at the forefront.
My Sherry Amore. No, I'm sorry. I just wanted to throw a little karaoke out there. Little karaoke. What's up, Andy?
I liked it.
I'm with you, Betty. I'm with you 100%. I understand what you mean by that, right?
Okay, thank you, Andy. Whew.
I think what it is there just needs to be just more of an appreciation, right? Because he's still here with us. He's still here with us.
Absolutely.
That's true.
Low key, I don't know. Maybe
That's
there needs to be some sort of Stevie Wonder segment at every award show. Maybe even a Stevie Wonder award. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But since he's still here, I wouldn't mind for an acknowledgement of him.
Right.
Even if he just sat at the front row at every award show. Yo, Stevie, we love you.
That's
at
right.
Every award show, whether it's the Grammys, the BET Awards, the Tonys, or whatever award show it is. Something just small like that, I think would be cool.
Just a shout out.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, I can see both of your points. Betty, taking the stance that we know Stevie, we love Stevie, and Stevie knows he loves us. And then Andy taking the approach that, yeah, that's great, but let's give him those flowers. Let's make sure that we respect this man's genius. I mean, I can see both sides of that, and I'm not just playing Switzerland. I mean that to both of y'all. But anyway.
Absolutely.
So Betty, how has the messaging in black music evolved on BT, on the BT stage over the years, and the performances? What are some of the things that you've noticed that are very different in recent years? I know I've heard some people complain about that. There's too much nudity, there's too much, sexual messaging. What are your thoughts?
That's interesting because there's always been sexual messaging. So, I mean, that was R&B in the 90s. Like, what are we talking about? Knocking the boots? Like, come on.
Right.
So that's already...
We're passionate people.
I think a very romantic bunch, okay? So I feel like in terms of like what I'm seeing in performances, because I did catch a little bit of the B2K performance on social media, and right now it's very nostalgic. I think they're hitting it really well in terms of like connecting us to a better time in music. Not to say today's time isn't bad, but I really feel like they're really honing into the nostalgia of music, and they're doing a really good job with that.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
Well, it is 25 years from 2000, so I think That was big. I remember BET in the year 2000, and I think there was a shift in a lot of ways, right? I don't remember exactly what it was in 1999, but 2000, that's when 106 and Park came in. That's when Rap City, The Basement with Big Tigger came in. That was also, if y'all remember, Hits from the Streets.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Hits from the Streets was on there. So I remember that shift in 2000. So I think there's an acknowledgement for the millennials out there. Shout out millennials. You already know what it is.
Yeah, and quickly, give me your thoughts on this, Betty. You know, is BET shifting, or is the culture shifting, and BET's just showcasing it?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I think it's both, right? BET has to always adapt to the culture because that's their main prerogative is to make sure that we are represented on an international level. So they are adjusting to what they see in the culture, but they're also creating a space where culture can be created. So, yeah.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Betty, you have been an absolute pleasure to have on tonight and chop it up about the BET Awards. And Betty, you know, you're the digital editor, you're a staff writer at the Los Angeles Sentinel. What else you got going on?
Yeah, so right now I'm really amplifying what's happening in the community. We have Show Love Summer Jam coming up at Compton College. Everyone is cordially invited to Compton College to work, you know, just be in that vibe. It's happening June 28th from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. So I hope to see everyone there. But this is the exact moment that I'm talking about in terms of music coming from the culture, coming from the roots of the Black community. So shout out to Show Love. And that's what we got going on. We just ready for that festival to happen.
All right, Betty Halsell, thank you again so much for joining me tonight on KBLA Talk 1580. We appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Keith.
You're very welcome anytime, and that's Uncle Keith to you. Anyway, so our KBLA Talk 1580 4th anniversary events are fast approaching, and seating at all 4 of our special events is getting tight. Have you registered at our KBLA1580.com website? If you haven't, let me encourage you to stop and do it right now so you don't get left out. It's our 4th anniversary. We want to celebrate with you. If you are planning to join us for our 4th anniversary celebration and barbecue, yes, some good barbecue on the Juneteenth holiday, we're asking everyone to bring a food gift card of any amount for the victims of the Altadena fire, grocery store chain, or a restaurant. We're grateful for whatever you bring to help the families still displaced by the wildfires. So go to our KBLA1580.com website right now and sign up for the events you plan to attend. All of our anniversary events are free, but seating is limited, and you must register. Thank you very much. And everybody, thank you for joining me tonight as we took over for the fabulous Jill Munroe. And be sure to check me out this weekend, Saturday at 9 p.m. and Sunday at 8 p.m. for Black in the Green Room, where we chop it up with entertainers, showbiz professionals, and showbiz creatives, and we celebrate them and we showcase them. Until next time, thank you very much. Right here from KBLA Talk 1580.
No condo, say your name at the front. You can stay if you want. It's been one of those nights I ain't had in a minute. It's been a minute, had to pop a shroom to recreate the feeling. Ooh, yeah. But it's never the same as the first time we did it. First time we did it.